Welcome back. As I mentioned, we have Jeff Parker here, and he's got some great news and some not so good news. Well, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Lisa. How are you?
Good, and happy Friday.
Yes, it is Friday, and looking forward to a very warm weekend.
Yeah, well, I already reported that. It's going to be very hot. So in any case, yes, people are probably going to want to be outside. Make sure you wear your mask, right?
Wear your mask.
I know, it's hard, but go ahead.
So with regards to numbers, unfortunately what we're seeing throughout the state, nation in all reality, and in Orange County is, again, continuation of that spike that we've noticed lately. Yesterday's reported numbers of 1,292, almost 1,300 cases in Orange County. And unfortunately, 26 deaths reported yesterday. So now we're over 400 people who have unfortunately died in Orange County regarding the COVID. And again, the focus there from our perspective is understanding that 80% of the people that have passed away are in our serious age group of 60 and over. So we need to be conscious of that relative to the village and our community, and they are. And the residents here are still doing a wonderful job, although we've creeped up in our numbers just like everybody else has. So we're over now 24 cases. So remember, you and I were talking, you know, just
we had 10 for a long time,
8,
right?
You know, 8 was a long number, and then it kind of jumped and is jumping. So we're seeing that increase, and that concerns us with regards to that, which is why we, both United and Third, wanted to make sure that people were wearing their masks out there and wanted to declare that emergency with regards to our village, and you know, mirroring the state with regards to so much of the importance of wearing it, but taking that next step and saying, hey, people, when you're going outside here in the village, please wear a mask and be careful out there. And that's really, and it's happening. The people are paying attention to that. You know, we have the little concerts that are out there at the park by the creek. The other day, I got a report yesterday from our security department that when they went out there, generally almost everybody was wearing their mask. And not congregating in big groups. They were spreading out. So that's exactly what we want to see. Spread out, stay in smaller groups, stay in family groups if all possible, and then wearing your mask. And those things are all going to help prevent the spread.
Well, that's great. And then people can get outside, and then the people who want to entertain others can do that in a very safe way. And I think that's fantastic, because it is going to be warm and you're going to want to be in the shade, and that would be such a nice way to do it. So thank you, everybody, for wearing your mask. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's really, really good news. On some more of the numbers I just wanted to mention is the hospitalization rates are up. That is a normal transition. When you've seen numbers in the 1,200, we've had two or 3 days now of that kind of numbers, and then they were in the 700s and 800s. When you have that many cases, you're bound to see more hospitalization. You and I had talked before we came on TV, we're at this growth factor in our hospitalization. So Orange County is very concerned that if the ICU numbers start to creep up, we're going to run into a capacity issue. We're not there yet. That's the good news. But if these numbers continue, then our ICU issue is going to, and they're going to have to go into then they're spreading out of the ICU units and making sure that other hospital beds are available for other activities.
Well, exactly. And you know, it's not so much that the folks here in our community are not doing the job, because they are doing the job. It's other people who may not be caring or thinking, oh, you know, I'm never going to get it, which is what I think Caudy Petrie Norris says, it's the invincibles, and it's the ones who are younger. So what I would say to that is, if you have children that have children who are of that age, make sure that they know it's really important that they don't visit you. You know, or if they do visit you, that you're going to be putting the mask on and keeping that distance, because they're the ones that could be infecting you.
And then that's so important when you're talking about grandkids coming here, family members coming here to the village, because again, this is one of those diseases where somebody could have the infection and not know it, and not have any signs, you know, being asymptomatic. And that is really, really the scary part about this virus, because it is so hard to detect. and yet it spreads so easily.
Right, I know, and we're not there. We're all kind of, I think the whole United States and the world is a petri dish.
Yeah.
We're all just sort of going as we can. So hopefully they'll have better ideas of how this is spreading and better treatments. So thank you for the information on that. Now, I guess we could move to some better news, is that tennis.
Yes, so during the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've been getting emails from a lot of our tennis players with regards to, as you can see with the weather's heating up, right? Okay. And so our play, which we had up until 4 o'clock in the afternoon play had really kind of shrunk because people just didn't want to go out there in the middle of the heat wave, right. Even whether it's doubles or singles. It's very, very taxing on people. So the request came in about could we move the 12 to 4 p.m. period to 4 to 8 o'clock so that we have evening play. It's a little cooler. People are in a position where also getting home, if they happen to be working too, they can get home and play. Right. So we've implemented that. Our reservation system's all set up, and today basically we're getting that going. Okay. So people can use that 4 to 8, and that'll include over the weekends, and will be in place now permanently until we get to the later part of the fall or the middle of the fall where the hours change. Sure. Because we don't have lighted courts on every court out there. So, so once we have that, we'll get this in place now, and we'll keep it in place until we run into the time frame and the light. But this will give people, I think, a better time to play without being stressed out on the heat issue, especially when we're seeing it going up like it is.
Yeah, that's good.
We are also this week starting the evaluation and paperwork process to take a look at pickleball and paddle tennis for the same thing, going into that 4 to 8 period. Mm-hmm. So we will be evaluating this next week. We'll get all our protocols in place. So I'd anticipate sometime next week I'll be able to come on and say we're getting that ready to go as well.
Okay, great. Well, good to know. I mean, it's always nice to know that we have better hours in terms of playing, especially like you said with the heat. So now I did want to mention that on the tennis reservations, you can make your reservations 1 day in advance, and there is a phone number, and we'll share that with you later, so we can make sure you call ahead for your reservation. You can't just walk out there and get a court, right?
But and the activity's been growing, so that's really good. So we appreciate those that want to play, and we want to be safe though. And we've had emails from people saying, did we open up too soon? Again, these are outdoor activities, so we feel much more comfortable, but we still need to have people social distance when they get there. Right. Wear masks before they get there. Right. Wear masks when they leave. Right. But when they're playing, obviously they can take the mask off.
Right. Good. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you for the information. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
Thank you so much.
All right. And remember, later in our program, we will go ahead and give you that phone number that you can call in for tennis reservations. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some smoothie information.